Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome in and welcome back to Wildcast Studios for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, a premier destination for KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances in Moncton. Right now, they got the KitchenAid Cook Up the Savings event. Save $300 when you purchase any 3, $400 when you purchase any 4, $500 when you purchase any 5 of the qualifying KitchenAid major kitchen appliances from now till today, October 30th. Today is the day for it. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. Have you cleaned up all your leaves, sir?
What happened to the YQM?
You still want to be Mr. YQM?
I'm always Mr. YQM.
All right, Mr. YQM. Is there any more YQM news?
There is.
There is?
Yeah, there is. Last week, they announced 3 more acts, Canadian acts.
Nickelback.
No Nickelback,
Oh, no
unfortunately. We're still waiting for that drop. Thursday.
When it happens, you are going to be the most social media person. Your phone is going to blow up.
We did it, fam. We did it.
That's all you're going to tweet. We did it, fam.
Yeah. No, it's so Thursday is the Reclaws.
I know them.
Yeah, the brother and sister duo, whose last name is Walker. And
Didn't know that.
Reclaws backwards. So Walker backwards is Reclaw.
Oh, now I know. Yeah, okay.
Now you get it.
Now I get it.
So yeah, they were Canadian band, Canadian brother and sister duo, who actually went on America's Got Talent and were eliminated in the quarterfinals. Friday is Tyler Joe Miller, and Saturday is Tennille Arts.
Tennille Arts.
Mm-hmm. You gotta be really into country music to know those names.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the leave situation is the backyard is done.
Done.
The backyard is done. It's all cleaned up.
Nice.
It's just the front yard that's
Took you all weekend?
What's that?
Took you all weekend?
Yeah. Sunday was a little chilly. It was not a very good raking day on Sunday.
No, it wasn't.
We got everything done on the Saturday. The backyard was done. We were like, you know what? On the Sunday, we're going to get that front yard done. But it was just not nice enough to be raking. So we'll hopefully do that next weekend sometime. Got to get it cleaned up somehow. If anybody has a vacuum leaf mulcher that I can borrow, please let me know.
Somebody has to have one out there.
Please let me know. It would make things so much easier and so much faster. So if you have a vacuum leaf mulcher I can borrow for a couple of hours on the weekend, please let me know.
Someone's got to have one out there somewhere. My ears just left me, so I have no idea.
I can confirm they're still there.
Yeah, no,
they're still attached.
Those ears are still there, which is fantastic. But apparently, I put it just too tight on my head that it pulled the. There we go. Now we're hearing everything. Someone's got to have one out there that they can help. You want to give your address out to all the people?
Just flip me a message. Flip me a message. I'll be. I'm easy to track down. I'm on all the socials.
Jeremy, how come we have 8 people outside our house mulching our leaves?
Well,
I may have given away the address.
Yeah, but no, it's like I only need it for a couple of hours. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll have it done. Have everything done.
Yeah, when you showed me your backyard and front yard, I was like, oh, I do not miss not having a tree. Like it is that's the part that going out and doing that, and I've got to go out do the backyard to get rid of some of our summer furniture that we never used. But you know, I was thinking about this yesterday. You know what I cannot stand on television right now?
Politics.
Yeah. When I watch NFL football for about 9 hours on Sunday, you know what I see? All politic ads.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep.
Every time.
Tis the season.
The best was last night during the San Francisco-Dallas game, or I guess Sunday night. It was a Joyce Craig ad. Then, a Kelly Ayotte ad about how she was a governor that put away a cop killer. The very next ad was Joyce Craig calling Kelly Ayotte whatever she was calling her and just slagging her down.
Yep.
Then the very next ad, it was a minute and a half, was Kelly Ayotte talking about how bad Joyce Craig is. I'm we were watching Game of Thrones on the big TV, watching football just on mute and the little TV, and I looked at the wife and I'm like, this was unbelievable. She's like, what? I'm like, watch this. I rewound it.
Yep.
And I know that a lot of sports are on streaming, and that's the best way to kind of get away from these political ads, but I hate that. I just want to sometimes get on TV, watch football. But I think what really angers me more is during the campaign, I get all the American commercials I can handle during the NFL. But during the Super Bowl, I got to watch the same CTV garbage with, FanDuel. Oh, the odds. Oh, Chesney, what are these odds? Oh, I have the same fork. Like,
Yep.
Pick one, CRTC. Yep. Like, the game on NBC was literally on Boston NBC. All their news, all their commercials.
Yep.
And during the Super Bowl, absolutely nothing. Just that's
another couple of weeks, my friend. Another couple of weeks.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Over.
And I am a little scared, a little bit more scared than I was back in 2016.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
It did not go well.
We will see how it goes.
Did you hear about that? A comedian?
Yeah, we're not going to get into that.
No,
but, a little edgy.
Yeah, well, that's not what this show is about. What this show is about is TV and Hell's Kitchen. That's what this show is about. Nobody went home on the crying episode, the homesick episode. My boy Egypt just about went home, and he was ready to bow out, and I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" Like back-to-back weeks, and then Gordon kind of talked him out of it. But I'm kind of glad that both teams won dinner service and were able to stay in it.
The episodes where nobody goes home, it's always a letdown when that happens. Yeah. That's what you watch the show for. You watch the show for the elimination, and didn't get it, but at the same time, a non-elimination happens every season, and you knew it was coming. So it's probably going to be a double elimination eventually. So we'll see when that happens. But it's getting into the thick of things here. They're starting to really get into business and get down to business here and really.
Yeah, this week's called Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels. So clearly there's something having to do with a cop car or an ambulance or fire truck or food trucks. I don't know.
Something like that. Probably something to do with the first responders. Probably marketed around, first responders on Halloween, which brings us into our next little thing. We're going to put something up on the, we always ask Halloween questions and what kind of candy we like. Yeah. And we've asked the same kind of questions. So I found this on Twitter. And it is, you can only choose 3.
Ooh,
Mr.
okay.
Gouchie. You can only choose 3.
Okay.
And for everybody watching out there, you can kind of see yours as well. But,
yeah.
Give me your 3 here. I want to see how close we are.
So off the top, Crispy Crunch number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1. I'm a big Crispy Crunch guy.
Okay.
If you ever
try to pull your teeth out,
no,
you never did that where you take the toffee and you put it on your teeth as hard as you can and then pop it off.
No,
I did that.
No.
Probably not good for my teeth.
I'm having a hard time seeing them here, but I'm going Mr. Big at 2. And let's go. I like Smarties. Smarties are good, so let's go with Smarties as my number 3.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Aero, number 1. They don't have my favorite Aero in Mint Aero.
Mm-hmm.
And then if this was just pure chocolate, this wouldn't be on here. But I'm gonna go 21. I'm gonna go Rockets. Rockets has always been my favorite.
I despise Rockets.
I know you
they're
do.
So gross.
Oh, they're so good. You crush up the white ones and Does
he do that intentionally?
kind of finishing up a cold, but yeah, that's no, obviously you eat them properly. Please don't do that. Man. Arrow's number 2 or Arrow's number 1, Rockets number 2, and probably Smarties. Yeah, I think Smarties would be just on a pure Halloween night. Chicken bones there, number 1.
Yeah.
My old man loves them. Just eats them like they're going out of style.
Gross.
You ever had Thrills?
Nope. Never.
Where
are they?
They're allegedly. Oh, here, I'll take that off for a second. Allegedly gum, and they taste like soap. Oh, it is absolutely cool. It is nasty. So let us know what some of your top 3 Halloween candies are as we get into Halloween tomorrow. As always, Fanishers, you can follow us on the social medias, Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast as well. Here on YouTube, don't forget to like and smash the subscribe button. Lets us know that you like what we're doing. And click the bell so you don't miss any podcast post games. That was going to be the quick question, but I put that in the content. So you know what? Let's get to some news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the league presented by Integrity Lawn Care. The leaves are still starting to change. There's still somehow thousands and millions and hundreds of them.
Yes, sir. It's confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. So if you want to get them all cleaned up and you don't want to do it yourself like poor Jeremy, and you want to get ready for winter, give them a call at 506-866-8218. Check them out on Instagram or give them an email, integrityLawnCare@hotmail.com. We have a roster for the CHL USA Prospects game on the November 26th, 27th in Kitchener and Oshawa. Only two QMJHL players were announced. And I sent the message right to you. Like, that seems quite low for Q players for the amount of prospects we have. And the one name that jumped out at me was Wang from Chicoutimi.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in this, that there's not a lot of Q representation?
You're not wrong. But at the same time, it's just that deep in the WHL and the OHL for Gite, Wong, all these other guys to be off the list.
Yeah.
And I saw the comments from obviously the Quebec media, of course, and some of the maritime media as well, that they were shocked that this player didn't get invited, and this player didn't get invited, and this player didn't get invited. Well, if you knew your NHL draft stuff, you would know that it's just an insanely deep year in the OHL and the WHL. And that's it. That's any other year, Gite is there.
Yeah.
Wong is there.
I think any other normal CHL prospects game, these guys are here because you're filling two teams.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're filling one team to play two games.
That's the big difference. But really, at the end of the day, will 2 games against USA All-Stars really change your draft status, your draft positioning? No. If anything, it's going to help these players.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that didn't get invited, it's not going to affect them in any way.
No.
So it's not a big deal.
It's going to motivate them maybe a little bit more too.
That's it. You have 64 games plus the playoffs to prove yourself to scouts. What's another 2 games going to do? Yeah.
And the 2 players were obviously Caleb Denway from Moncton and Justin Charbonneau from Blainville. So a few names left off there. What else we got here for news? The NHL prospect list came out. Obviously, Denway was an A prospect. Nobody else really from Moncton was on that list. I think Carrier was a C prospect, I do believe. So, and then the draft is going back to where this originally started. Quebec, June 7th, 6th, and 7th, which
the Poutine run.
Yeah.
2.0.
Would you have 7?
It's at least 6.
I think the over-under was 5.5 in the 4 days we were there.
It was also the year that the Raptors were in the NBA Finals, and that's the most basketball I've ever watched.
That is true, yeah, because you were on the watermelon drink, I believe, in the hotel room for our
No, that was the Superstore apple cider.
Yeah, the Superstore apple cider for our maritime roundtable, the first ever one we had in the hotel room.
Man, that was
Do you remember much of it?
Disgusting memory.
Yeah, that was a good memory. But yeah, the draft is going back to Quebec at the Videotron Center. So if a certain team gets to a certain tournament for a certain couple weeks, I don't really know how I'm going to be able to afford to go to both said tournaments and said draft. Here's hoping paternity leave can kick in to just lengthen that bad boy just enough to get to both. But again, the Wildcats have to get there. We'll get to the Boucher team of the week here in a little bit, but we can go quickly through the QMJHL team of the week. And it's full of Wildcats after the
some familiar names.
Yeah, after the weekend they had Alex Mercier, 3 games, 4 goals, 2 assists, and his 100th point. Lars Steiner of the Huskies, 3 games, 1 goal, 6 assists. Louis Charles Plod of Baie-Comeau, 4 goals, 3 assists in the 3 games. Defenseman Etienne Morin playing his 200th Q game, had 1 goal, 3 assists in 3 games. He's now got an 11-game point streak going on. And Alexis Bernier from Baie-Comeau, 2 goals, 2 assists, and 3 in the 3 games played. And goaltender of the week for the team was Jacob Steinman as well. Player of the week for the week was Jacob Steinman, who was, where's that stat? 2-0, 956 save percentage, and a 1.5 goals against average.
Not bad.
That team of the week's pretty cool, but I think everyone's waiting for the Boucher team of the week.
Yeah, it's get a bit of a interesting twist.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot different than the Q. Maybe not, man. Yeah, a couple noticeable names. All right, so last week we started in a goal. I think I'll start up front this week. First forward on my list is Luke Woodworth. After starting the season with 19 assists,
Yeah.
finally got his first 3 goals.
Yep. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
But also shout out to the Wildcats for keeping him off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Caleb Desnoyers, game-winning goal against Shawinigan and Victoriaville. His third, so back-to-back games, but also his third game-winning goal in the last 6 games.
Nice.
So, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
And probably our favorite player in the league right now, Lars Steiner.
Yes.
We cannot ignore what he's doing right now.
No, and we both missed that one.
As a rookie.
Yeah. At least your rookie of the year is actually on the list. Mine's not even close.
Wow. 5 assists against Rimouski.
Yeah.
Which is a new league record for the most in a game by a rookie.
Wow.
Yeah. On the back end, Anthony Lavoie from Baie-Comeau. And the Jacars 8-5 win over the Ramparts on Sunday. +7.
Oh.
On the flip side, Benjamin Vigneault of the Ramparts in that same game, -7.
Oh. Yikes.
Well, helping yourself there. And in goal, because he was my other defenseman.
Yeah.
William Lasselle of Rimouski, 2 shutouts in 6 games played with a 5-0 record.
Yeah, they got a nice little goaltending tandem there in Rimouski.
Yeah. Remember where they said goalies were tough to develop?
Yeah. I sure do. All right.
Yeah. Just here.
Welcome back to your team of the week.
Yeah.
That's week.
We
are
are here. We are back with the team of the week, thanks to
and completely different from the
Mr.
team of the week, which again, yeah, thanks to Brendan. This is not going to be. He's not going to cherry pick off the team of the week. This. You may have one player, you may have none that are the same. You're all about your own.
A player who's -7 is not going to be in the league's team of the week.
Absolutely not. All right, you want to get to our guest who's patiently waiting for us?
Oh, he's here. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. All right, let's. Where's my button here? There it is. All right.
View from the other bench.
All right, it's been a couple of years since we've done this with a player from another team, but it's a bit of a homecoming, so it only makes sense as the Val D'or Foreurs are in town, which means after being the 16th overall selection in this past draft in Moncton, Moncton's own Jacob Gouchie returns to Moncton. Jacob, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Doing well.
Doing well after Moncton had that sweep through Quebec. But I guess just the first question for me, if you can, just take us back to that night. Obviously, couple of crazy days, I would imagine, leading up to the draft in your hometown in front of your family and friends. Just talk about the lead up, and then obviously hearing Val d'Or calling your name as teams are your name was kind of starting to fall a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. Last few days before draft, I had a lot of meetings with other teams, and not 100% sure where I was going to go. And as the thing went down, and I heard that Val d'Or was trading for the 16th pick, I knew that there was a great possibility that my name was going to be called. And of course, when my name was called, it was a very good experience for myself. Definitely not going to not forget about it.
And again, looking back at the draft, I guess we couldn't do this episode without complimenting you on your suit game, because you somehow made pink and green look really good. So we've got to give you that. But you know, when you finally put that jersey on and you sat down and you looked at the Val d'Or schedule, did you kind of circle this road trip on your calendar?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I had this road trip circled on my calendar.
And if you're looking at the game, you know, it's obviously, you know, you're still looking to get on the score sheet here, and I think we both know you're going to score at the Avenir Center. We just know it's going to happen. Do you have any sellies in mind, or are you just gonna kind of wing it?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I'm not much of a silly guy, so I might just come. I don't know. I'll ask some of my teammates maybe can help me out.
It's just one of those things when players come back to Moncton, they obviously are going to play well against Moncton. We can almost put that in there. But 10 games in, have you kind of had your welcome to the Q moment? I know that, you know, in the Monctonian, you play against a lot of guys that you might play against in the Q and leading up to it and playing with Moncton and stuff like that. But have you had your welcome to the Q moment yet where you're just like, holy bleep, I'm in major junior hockey?
Oh yeah, like this was most like the first couple games. Like it's a lot faster. The game's a lot faster. Guys are a lot bigger in the queue and stuff like that. Um, Also, like as a 16-year-old, like I'm not gonna play as much as I did in the junior, so that was also a big hit.
Yeah.
But a couple games in now, and I feel like I'm getting a little more of the groove, and it's just gonna go up from now.
So in terms of, you know, going from Moncton to all the way up to Val d'Or, obviously the road trips in U18 or to Charlottetown, to St. John, you're not staying overnight. Just what's a road trip like Val d'Or to, I guess, Moncton, or Val d'Or to Gatineau, or just these long trips? What is Jacob Gouchie doing on the bus to kind of pass the time, or what do teams do on those long road trips?
So I prefer just to hang out with the guys, just talk around, talk with different guys. Helps pass the time and gets to know new people.
And looking back at I guess how are things going in Val d'Or when you arrived there as a rookie? Any players that really kind of took you under their wing and showed you around town?
Yeah, I had a couple players that helped me out with the start of the queue. Like I had Arsenal and Drapo and stuff like that. Buddy was also helping me out a little bit at the start. So I had those main three guys helping me out, showing me what the queue is all about, and they really helped my start out.
So in terms of, obviously we're gonna get to some actual hockey talk. You guys got the trip, Bathurst, Moncton, St. John. You know, what does Val d'Or have to do to have success in a road trip like this? I mean, these three teams are kind of leading the Maritime Division. So, you know, as one of the younger guys, what does Val d'Or need to do to kind of come away with some points here on this long road trip?
I think right now we're doing pretty well as a team. I think we have to try to put the puck in the net. The last few games, we've been losing 2-1 and stuff like that. I think the team could be a lot more physical. I think we're a pretty big team, and I don't think we're physical enough. I think we need to punish players. And other than that, we just got to keep doing what we're doing right now.
So last one for me, and we'll kind of we'll ask a bit of a fun one. Halloween is tomorrow, so we talked about our favorite candies just a little bit ago, but what's Jacob Gouchie's favorite Halloween candy when he was a kid trick or treating?
I really like the cough crisp. That was always my chocolate bar of choice.
Nice. There we go. Yeah, we can get behind that.
Yeah.
And you know, just last one. We want to keep it kind of short and sweet, but you know, we are live across New Brunswick. Anybody back home you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, of course, mom and dad. That'd be the persons I'd be shouting out. And they're the one that got me started to hockey, and they're the ones who've been pushing me all my life. And they're one of the biggest reasons why I'm here today.
Beauty.
Perfect, man. Well, again, we don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sure you're getting ready to pack. I'm sure you've got to buy a lot of tickets, eh? You know how many people are coming to this game for you? That will it'll be one of those odd games where everyone's cheering for Moncton except when number 6 puts something on the board.
Yeah. No, I'm open for that. I'm open for a pretty good big crowd.
Do you know how many friends and family you got coming?
I know, like I have a pretty good amount of friends that are coming from my school.
Yeah.
So
sweet. All right, man. Well, again, good luck this weekend. Obviously, personally against Moncton. Team success, maybe not, but man, good luck the rest of the year, and hopefully stay healthy and big things. Looking forward to the next couple of years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was fun. I think we should have more players on. We had a couple last year. I think we had former Wildcat ones 2 years ago that were in Cape Breton and whatnot. But I mean, good kid. And I want to ask you, last season, all the talk was Gouchie Batchelder.
Yep.
Gouchie Batchelder, 1A. Gouchie was the MVP of the Monctonian Prospects game, and he goes in the first round. Batchelder slides, luckily to us, in the second round. Is it just a product of the teams they were drafted on, and maybe that's why Batchelder's not in the queue, or is it something developmentally, maybe size-wise, that allows Gouchie to be in the queue while Batchelder maybe needs to develop a little bit more?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, with Gouchie, it's hard to ignore a 6'1", 215-pound defenseman, right? That's mobile like he is. And when it comes to Batchelder, I think if it's any other team, he's probably in the league, right? There was just no room for a 16-year-old in the Wildcats lineup this year, and fortunately, I know there was a bit of a fight. Maybe that's not the right word, but the West Kent were trying to get Batchelder to be able to play there as a 16-year-old defenseman, and apparently there's a rule in the Maritime Hockey League where 16-year-olds can only play in the league if they're in their home province. So it came down to he just wasn't playing at the beginning of the season because the only game he could play was a road game, a West Kent road game in Summerside.
Just ridiculous.
And so he's just sitting there. He's hanging out with West Kent, just waiting for his opportunity. They get a game in Summerside, I think in early October. That's the only game he played in. And I guess they launched a kind of I was going to say not a lawsuit, but they took it up with Hockey Canada to see if they could get him kind of an exception, and it was granted. So he's playing with West Kent up in Bucktouche as a 16-year-old. Like Gouchie, still waiting to get on the scoreboard in junior hockey, but he's a regular playing, in Maritime Junior Hockey League as a 16-year-old, and I think the last time there was a 16-year-old playing major junior hockey, Jordan Spence, PEI, that turned out pretty good for the Wildcats, and we're hoping. Batchelder isn't putting up Jordan Spence like numbers in junior hockey at 16, but I think his time's going to come. But when it comes to Gouchie, it's just he's on a young Val d'Or team. There was more opportunity for him there, and he's fitting in. I think they might have. He's played 9 or 10 games out of their. I'm not sure exactly how many games they've played, but he's played the majority of them. So good for him, and I'm sure he'll be. If he's not in the lineup at the Avenir Center,
after we had him on the show,
you can tell we'll be writing a complaint letter to that coach in Val d'Or. Fortunately, the coach in Val d'Or is a former Wildcats defenseman, so that kind of works out in his favor for him to be in the lineup.
Yeah, he's played 10 of the 14 games that Val d'Or's played. So I can't see him not playing on a New Brunswick road trip when his family can go to all 3 games.
I think there's a good opportunity for him to get that lineup.
When all his family and friend can go to all 3 games. But I mean, that's one of those fun facts about the queue when these Maritime kids get drafted to those Quebec teams is when they come through. 97% of the building is going for one team, and that 3% is sometimes louder than especially at one rink. It can be louder, and again, we hope he has success team-wise, and just maybe not against. Well, we hope he has success team-wise, not against Moncton, but this has the Carrier feeling where he's going to get that first one.
Oh,
it's just a muffin, kind of shot. It's going to tip, bounce off a shin of a player and past Warren or Steinman, whoever gets the call. It's going to happen, and good for him to get his first in Moncton. I think that'd be a pretty cool story.
Absolutely. We're waiting for it at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of that team, you want to talk about them?
Do we have games last week?
We sure did.
Oh, okay.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, the Wildcats went 3-0 in Quebec on the weekend with wins over Drummondville, Shawinigan, and Victoriaville, bringing the record to 11-2-1 for 23 points. First in the Maritimes division and first in the conference. And so Friday night against Drummondville, we said if they play like they did against Chicoutimi, well, yeah. So that was about as good as I've seen this team play for 42 minutes. Because the start of the game early on was the Steinman show. It became the Mercier show. I don't know if maybe it was the bus lags, but thankfully Steinman stood tall. I mean, I think the shots were 12-5 at one point until Mercier got got his 100th point in the queue off his first goal, a bit of a tip off the Pekarczyk pass, which, I mean, at this point, he's going full Draisaitl where, and I say that because I watch a lot of Oilers games. There's probably other guys, but that's who I watch. He's making passes that the players are like, oh, the puck's there. Like they almost don't get ready for it. Yeah, Mercier was ready for that one, and that was about as good as that team's looked.
They played really well. They played really well all weekend, for that matter. But yeah, definitely the Drummondville game I thought was kind of their better performance of the three. It was, to me, I mean, I'm not going to call it domination, but they pretty well controlled the play.
Yeah,
for the majority of the game, which was awesome to see. I mean, we're not. I had I shouldn't say doubts, but I mean, I was when you go into.
I had my doubts it would be 5-1 Moncton.
Yeah,
right. Like
it's getting four past Riley Mercer there. It's not something you'd. I didn't expect it. I expected it to be a tighter game, but really it was just one of those things where Moncton got the breaks, they got the passes. Mercier was, I mean, clearly energized with his family in the crowd, and hell of a game.
Yeah, and I mean, it was battle of the top two teams, battle of the top two goaltenders. I didn't think, I expected Moncton to put up another 40 shots, which was basically their 8th straight game of 40 shots. But I was thinking 3-1, maybe 3-2 with an empty netter. Like I was not thinking that they were going to play like that. And basically the only kind of sniff that Drummondville got was the power play, and they've got a pretty good power play.
Yeah.
In that one, I think that was. I mean, we got a Cooper Cormier goal, and I literally messaged you. I'm like, can we play the fourth line just a little bit more? Like and then boom, Cooper Cormier scores. Like I'm still not sold that Drummondville's not going to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference. They showed it the next night. I think they played Halifax and then St. John. It was so weird where Halifax was playing the same teams as us, just one after another. But I like the penalty kill in this one. Too late penalties or too early penalties in the third period. And they didn't allow Drummondville to come back at all.
Yeah. They really, I mean, they kept Luke Woolworth off the score sheet. They held, Drummondville's offense to one goal. Of course, it was Gouchie that got it. Who else? But I mean, it was just,
and it was a fluke goal that Gouchie got. Like it went off somebody's skate. I think it went off Mullen's shin pad or skate, and Gouchie just happened to be right beside the net, and Steinman almost got it.
Yeah, it was just that Friday night was, like you said. I think I expected a tighter game, but once it got to 3-1, 4-1, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of getting a little more comfortable than what I was expecting for sure.
It's still old wounds that just don't feel comfortable.
It's
still old wounds.
There's
maybe the St. John game just kind of opened those wounds a little bit when it was like 6-1, and then all of a sudden it was 6-4, and you're like, whoa.
I've learned, and I've followed this league long enough to know.
Yeah.
It's like the CFL, like no lead is safe, just I don't care if they get a 6-1 lead. I mean, you can't go down in gears here. You got to keep your foot to the floor. And I mean, to me, I think they did, other than the first few minutes of that game, it was, am I allowed to say balls to the wall?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Balls to the wall for until that final whistle.
And I think, one of the we found out they were leaving Thursday. Like usually they're out on Tuesday and they get there and they're able to get their legs, and maybe that was part of it. Saturday back to back. in Shawinigan. I guess for me, this was like a meh game. Like they ramped it up to play Drummondville. They didn't take it down to play Shawinigan, but they played the way we expect them to play. They didn't have 40 shots, but again, they had 25, I think 29, and just Vidicek scored late in that first period, about 5 minutes left, and that was the difference maker. Again, they allowed a power play goal, but then they come right back and get that one from Denway, who I think the game winner was the one from the side of the net where he just spins around and gets it in.
Another one, like it's again, didn't know what to expect. This is probably, in terms of Quebec road trips, I don't know if it's going to get tougher than that. Like these were 3 really good teams, more so the first 2. Victoriaville was no slouch. I mean, they were still shooting on net and scoring goals with a minute left in the game, right? It's just there was no quit in any of these games, and it's just nice to kind of see that maybe they got the message, from the Cape Breton game is you can't take time off.
No,
it doesn't matter how good this team is, you can't take time off. And I know last week's episode we called it still number 1 for now. Well, I think we'll still be number 1.
Yep.
It's it would be pretty odd for him to win 3 in a row in Quebec and then
beat the number 5 team and then
and then go down in the rankings. As much as I think the CHL rankings are stupid.
Speaking of which, where's Dave's rankings? Where's the Dave McKnight true top 12 CHL rankings?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask him about that.
I asked him on Twitter a while ago when the first ranking came out. I'm like, yeah, these are cool that we're number 3, but where's the Dave top 12?
Yeah. Top 60.
Oh, top 60. Yeah.
That's when he goes and says who the last team is in the CHL. Those are enjoyable. But I can't. I don't know what to say. I was impressed. I was pleasantly surprised with all 3 games. Like it was. I got an opportunity to watch all 3 games, which is
helps when those 2 are at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, those are great. God love 5 p.m. man. Those are great.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't we have 5 p.m. games on Saturdays and Sundays?
Yeah, I know, because it's perfect for that stupid football team I watch that plays at 2 and ends at 5 and the game's on a 5.
Yeah.
Perfect. Shut it off. Right to the hockey game. Yeah. Sunday, I don't know when the last time you were able to say this, but this is the first time in a while I've seen him play the third of a 3-3 or 3-4, and I wasn't worried how they were going to play. I didn't think that they were going to get outworked. I didn't think that they were going to get down at all. They, like you said last week, they emptied the tank. They got out to a 4-1 lead. I guess a little sloppy coming home in the final 6 minutes, but you're close to getting home. You're close to being done with the road trip. Good to see Keegan Warren get the first star. That kind of shocked me a little bit. Nothing against
first star.
He was first star. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I feel like Victoriaville fans booed that, which again, it was a little odd to me. I mean, he had 35 saves on 38 shots. I'm not taking anything away. I just was a little shocked by it. But that's what I wanted to see from him too. Was he got pulled in that 8-5 game against St. John, and I just didn't want to see, they're up 5-1 and all of a sudden they come all the way back and it's 5-4. I didn't want to see that again. They were able to take care of that. So, but this was one of those ones where they played just a good road game to get the 2 points.
Yeah, we had the 200 points for Lotion graphic ready, and what do you know? He gets it 32 something seconds into the game, and
thank God I was ready with that.
Yeah, and then Loke Johansson got his first in the queue, and just a lot of good things happened in that game, and Keegan, I had no idea it was first star. I know we got 35 out of 38 saves is like a 921 save percentage, so that really can't be ignored. But I don't pay attention to 3 stars.
No, I
especially on road trips where it's like they don't do anything. Like when you're in the media booth, it's hard to ignore the 3 stars. But I had no idea. Yeah, good for him. Good response game, and got to keep it going.
Yeah, and the only reason I knew is because I didn't shut it off right away. I was doing something else, and I turned. I was like, oh, Keegan Warren's number 1, because all of a sudden I heard. Roo. I will give Victoriaville some credit. Their DJ was pumping the tunes.
Oh, he's so good.
Oh,
the Quebec DJs are great.
Yeah,
like, it's
just I don't know. Watch a Quebec game.
Yeah, couple names on that on a Victoriaville team that we've kind of identified as
Yeah.
potential trade targets. Mine's maybe not the same as yours, but
we'll get to that in about, well, I was gonna say about a month, but
Yep.
I mean, technically a couple weeks. I thought Gabriel Dag played okay. A couple of those were probably stoppable, but that's a team that, you know, we kind of identified maybe teams are going to pick from Drummondville at the start of the season, rebuilding. But Marty had on, I can't remember who it was from Victoriaville, talking about their team and how, you know, they gave up a lot for their players for their runs. You know, Iasenza, Darvo. No, there was not Darvo. He was there. There was another one that he talked about, and they're getting that now. Like they're experiencing that rebuild now, and I think they've got a couple pieces that can make teams pretty good come.
Oh yeah,
come Christmas time.
And they're not going to be like the studs that have this astronomical price tags. They're probably like your plan B acquisitions.
Yeah, if you miss out on the stud.
But depending on where you put them in your lineup, it could end up being an extremely amazing value piece.
Yeah.
Right? For me, mine's Mael Living on Victoriaville. I know yours is Justin LaRose.
Justin LaRose, yeah.
Justin, I think Mael Living won't cost as much as Justin LaRose, or maybe I'm completely got that backwards. But yeah, there's
is he a 20? Oh no, he's a 05.
Yeah. There's a few names here
That's
that
Mael. That's
Mael.
a cool name.
Speaking of 20-year-olds, how about that random trade? That nothing was announced.
Yeah. I don't even think he's on the roster, is he?
No.
Hmm.
He retired from concussions, and Moncton acquired him.
Is there like an old trade that we just don't know about that they had to give a piece? So they just, instead of just shipping a pick, they just shipped a pick for a player that was never going to be here? Maybe. I don't know.
I wish, because he has a great name. Maddox Steen.
I think either one of our players that we've mentioned, I like LaRose because he's the left wing. He can play that left wing spot. And I think that's what you need. Again, both of those players maybe aren't top of teams' lists, but that's where the GMs that are looking to not build a good team, but not build top dream teams, can find pieces that fit and make things happen. But that's not a lot of goaltending talk from the summer that we heard, eh?
That
crowd quieted down.
It's still being talked about on the Halifax message board.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, I get from their end. I get why, but from our end, it's quieted right down. Not getting many messages about that anymore, and that's what happens when you literally say maybe a coaching change will make a difference. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We just kind of focus on watching them week in and week out. So now we got a little bit of a weird 3 and 4. 2 on the road as they end the 5-game road trip in St. John tomorrow on Halloween. That we always make the joke of empty arenas called Dress Like a Seat Night.
Wow.
To have a game on Halloween, it will be dressed like a seat night. Like,
yeah.
You know, teams are struggling to get butts in seats, and I don't know why you would put that game on Halloween. Like, nobody wants to go to that. They've either handing out candy. I don't even know if I'll watch it because I'll be handing out candy. It might be on the upstairs TV. You won't, because you'll be all over the neighborhoods, right?
I'll have the headphones in.
Yeah.
Headphones in, listen to them already. But that's pretty much what my Thursday night will look like.
And then, of course, we got Val d'Or here, which on paper aren't great. You know, they're bottom of the Western Conference, but that's the first home game after a long road trip.
Yep.
And that's especially the past couple of years. And we will stop. I'll stop referencing that at some point, I promise. But the first game after a long road trip is not always easy. And it's kind of in the middle of a game against 2 maritime rivals where St. John's getting better and it's a scrappy Halifax team. So that has the perfect recipe to be one of those yeah, we saw that coming type of game.
Very possible, and it gets back to doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
Just play.
Yeah.
You know, play your 55 minutes. And, you know, it's the offense. We have an offensive team. I think we said it last week. You know, we have a team. If you take a few minutes off, I think it's going to be okay. But don't go and play 40 minutes because we saw against St. John what can happen when you play 40 minutes.
And don't think that's not in the back of their head.
Yeah.
Like what happened was.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to take time off against St. John because they've proven what they can do against Moncton. And you know damn right that that's going to be on Moncton's mind going into this game, that, you know, we don't want this to happen again. And, you know, the Val D'or game is same thing. Like, it's, you know, just don't look down at your opponent. You know, be ready. And Halifax, I mean, it's unfortunate because it's Carrier's coming back. I guess we're going there, but he's out. He's got an upper body injury. Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. He was off to a pretty hot start, and
you can tell they're missing him.
Yep,
because they went on that kind of same Quebec road trip and they didn't have the success.
That's it.
Without him, he's, as we said last year, he's got the ability to make things happen, and unfortunately, but again, I feel like this will be a lot like last year. Maybe I'll be wrong, but Halifax is going to have success here, and we're going to have success in Moncton. And I think that's going to be the way, because for whatever reason, some of the keys start fast, man. This team is 9-0 in scoring the first goal this season. I mean, we talked about scoring by period. They have first periods, they have outscored opponents 21-9.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the next closest team has Chicoutimi at 18 goals for. The second period 20-11, and the third period 27-12. So there's not, the comeback Cats right now are not there. They jump out on you and they pedal to the metal.
Attack.
And that comes with shots in this first.
The cat attack.
Well, you can tell it's close to Halloween. Out shooting teams 181-129 in that first period. So they are starting on, there's no more 7:20 starts. They are starting on time.
So the goals for / goals against difference is like double right now.
It absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
4.85 goals for and 2.35 goals against. Like, Moran's got an 11-point game streak going. I think point streak going. It feels like all cylinders are clicking right now. And I made the joke after we finished last week. I was like, I was okay with them losing to Cape Breton because it might have humbled them a bit. Gave us something to say, oh, this is what we want to change. Or, you know, it's not all not Guns and Roses. It's all rainbow and roses and fluff. Like,
it's Guns and Roses. Just like it's Guns and Roses.
It's all Guns and Roses.
All Guns and Roses.
But I think you're correct. Is they kind of got humbled in Cape Breton and showed them, like, stop looking at the standings and just play who's in front of you.
Yeah. Speaking of Cape Breton, we're closing in on that November 15th deadline here that Drew Bear said he wants the Eagles to be in first place by. So I calculated, and the Wildcats need 3 points in their next 6 games to clinch first by November 15th. So we'll see how that goes.
Things we will not have made as we clinch first by November 15th. But we'll remind you.
This is also the same organization that once put a banner up for being first in the CHL. So you never know what's going to happen.
That is true. If someone could have that video, that would be awesome. But yeah, this is a team that right now is just kind of rolling on all cylinders, 9 of the last 10. So if you have tickets for this weekend, get them. If you don't, get them. All right, you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
I am now.
All right.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy a house from him. Stick tap of the week.
I got a problem with you, John Chena.
That's a great TikTok where it's 5 times that he made wrestlers first.
John Chena. Stick tap of the week. So as you saw on earlier in the show there, we had Jacob Gouchie of the Val d'Or Foreurs on the show, and I thought I had to take this opportunity to say a special thank you to Naomi Rondeau. She's the Director of Communications for Val d'Or for giving us the approval and permission to have Jacob on the show. And we're hoping to do this a lot kind of going forward, having some players and not necessarily from our team, but from other organizations as well to kind of talk about their seasons, how are things going. So this is part one of some upcoming interviews with players you've heard of and players that you've maybe not
heard of. Maybe. Oh. Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. There you go.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
All right, and that brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa. Right now, they've extended the 40% off for all of October. So basically, this one, you got 2 days. You got 2 days left. And they also have the loyalty card. Don't forget to stop in at 1224 Mountain Road or give them a call at 830-1224. And this one, I mean, literally, if you saw our social medias, if you saw Moncton social medias, this could have gone to a few players.
Yeah.
Honorable mention to Etienne Morin for playing his 200th game.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable mention to Johan Loshing for getting his 200th point. Hopefully next time we interview him, we'll talk about that. And it's after a win. That's our goal. But this one goes to a player that was just all over the ice. Maybe it was just having all of his family in Drummondville, or all of the road trip where all the players had them. Mm-hmm. As Marty was talking about, is basically every second break, talking about all the fans that were there. And you talked about it. It's the first trip for these kids going home. Yeah. The Wildcat of the Week had the hat trick against Drummondville, followed that up with a goal and an assist against Shawinigan, and followed that up with an assist against Victoriaville. Also got his 100th point in the queue. It is number 10, Alex Mercier. I almost forgot that I had that drop. And that's going to do it for the show. That is going to do it for the show. This Saturday, November 2nd, Monctonian Jacob Gouchie in the foyer come to the Avenir Center. We talked to him a little bit earlier. It is the kitchen party game, so I'm going to bring my spoons. What are you bringing?
Remember, I'm not allowed to go.
Oh, right. It's awkward.
That's okay. I have 6 kids to look after.
Oh, that 6 girls too?
6 girls.
Please tell me you're just going to put on Disney Plus and put on the Taylor Swift concert.
I'll have the game on.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to go.
You going to just put on Disney Plus?
All in chains that I can't go.
No, she's not your ball and chain. She lifts you up. She doesn't drag you down, right?
Yeah.
Mine's not a ball and chain. Mine lifts me up.
You lift me.
There it is. Yeah, just I think the Taylor Swift concert. Put that on. That should appease the girls for 3 hours. No,
all that, or what is it? American Gladiators. Thunder.
Just put on the. All right, we're gonna watch all 18 Marvel movies, kids. Enjoy. But yeah, if you want to get taste of that game and you're a Hometown Rewards member, check your app. There is a promo code for discounts from now until December 31st. And hey, you might just want to get to that game just a little bit early. As we found out, it's going to be a little bit of a, we got to find it here, a little bit of a discount, a little bit of a something that the Wildcats are doing to try to get you in the building earlier. So for the first half an hour, they are going to have some discounts on waters, hot dogs, and beer.
Oh, beer.
Alpine beer, Moosehead Light. They've got a new 355 ml size, so it's not the tall cans. No idea what the deal is, but stay tuned to their social medias for that deal. But hey, they're trying to get you in the building a little bit early. And I mean, who doesn't love deals nowadays, right?
I do. I like cheap beer.
The November 3rd.
Cheap beer in the media booth.
Yeah, just 2 fisting beers and hot dogs up in the media booth. Try to do a podcast post game while finishing off all of our
half cut.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, that's your last interview. Okay, cool. So the November 3rd bus trip to Wildcats is sold out. Don't forget if you purchase a ticket, it leaves from the Coliseum at 11 a.m. And they do have the bus trip for December 8th. Seats will start selling November 2nd until they are sold out. We're going to be on the Go Home show with Brock Gallant on Q103 for Wednesday's game. Do you have anything left?
For like this episode?
Yeah. Just if you had anything on top of your mind.
Oh,
you good?
Be safe out there, kids.
There it is. Yeah.
On trick or treating night.
And
Candy cane lane.
You excited for the dad tax?
Oh, I bought more. I don't know how many kids to expect.
Oh yeah, this is your first one.
This is my first one. Because last year I was ready, I had everything going, and not a soul showed up. I'm ready for 75. I'm prepared. However, if more come, I'm just going to start throwing cans of tuna. And here's your chicken noodle soup, young man. A can of tuna.
I've seen some meme where they're like, just take one, and it's a bowl of faux soup.
Pho. It's pronounced pho.
Was it pho? I wasn't sure if it was pho or faux.
Forget about
it. What?
Forget about it.
And then there was one that was like, just take one, and it was just a bunch of dipping sauces like ranch, honey barbecue.
Oh, yeah, like ketchup packets?
Yeah, ketchup packets, mustard packets. I think we're set up for 200.
Holy shit.
We had 96 kids last year.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not happening for me.
No.
I'll be my mom's gonna be the one handing out the candy. Mom, as soon as we're done, you turn off that light. Close the blinds.
Yeah, we had 96 last year.
Holy.
And we were out. We were almost, or we weren't, I guess we weren't out because we had 96 kids show up. We were almost out. It started off 3. I think I gave Avery 2 or 3 handfuls, so 6. And then at near the end it was 1.
Here's your one.
Here's your one.
Yeah, we're going for the coolest house on the block.
Yeah.
So we've got
with your Temu.
Yeah, Temu decorations for life. We've got a bag of chips, a chocolate bar, a candy, and a pop.
That's what each kid gets?
Yeah. We're going all out for these kids. We want to be
You got all that for 75 kids?
Yeah. We want to be the house.
Can I trick or treat at your house?
If there's not more than 75.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're going for it. This is
so I said I'm ready for 250 kids, and you've got pop, chips, and chocolate bar for each kid.
Yeah.
Your house is way cooler than
and
mine.
A little Skittles thing. And it was a box of 100 chocolate bars, 90 candies, 90 bags of chips. And I think I got 75 pop. So I got a
big spender. But when you're first year, you got to make an impression.
That's right. Gotta be my parents were like that.
Yeah.
Growing up, we were the place to go.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was pop, chips, chocolate bar, candy to every kid. And I was just you know what? It's cool to be the place to go. I want to be the place to go.
How close was Avery to not wanting you to come trick or treating with her?
She's not that old yet.
No, she's still.
I pick her up from school every Wednesday, and she still holds my hand.
Nice.
And I'm like, that won't happen next year when you're in middle school.
Yeah. And neither will trick or treat.
Yeah, I'll enjoy my last 6 months of being, cool dad before I'm dad. Don't pick me up on school property anymore. Please go across the street.
Yeah, and then you crank the music.
Yeah.
To embarrass her. Yeah. So absolutely. One last thing. Halloween is tomorrow. So please watch out for trick-or-treaters. They're excited to get candy. It's dark. They may not be looking. But you can. So slow down. Let's get everyone home safe. Again, thanks to the Val D'or and Naomi for allowing us to have Jacob Gouchie on tonight, as well for the Foreurs. Safe travels. Next week, we have Baie-Comeau, a guest from Baie-Comeau again. It seems like an annual thing. We will have...
Oh, Louis William Gagne.
Louis William Gagne will be on the show next week, talking about the year in Baie-Comeau, and we'll see if we can get a Wildcat on the show and go from there. But Jeremy, you have fun trick-or-treating. I will have fun handing out candy.
Oh, did you see the thing after the game where they went like this?
It's the Blades of Steel. That's the Blades of Steel.
No, it's from NHL 94.
No, it's from Blades of Steel.
It's the celebration, NHL 94.
It's the Blades of Steel.
I promise you. What? Go look it up. It's from NHL 94.
We're going to go look that up at the end of the show, but it's Blades of Steel. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. We'll settle this debate next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.